Welcome to Koco Plays with himself. I am the huge one, aka the idiot Dave Koco, and this is my Let's Play channel. Still a little under the weather, but we just lost 3 in a row. I am the Tampa Bay Rays. Cobb is getting a start versus Norris. The Yankees are getting closer to us, 3.5 games. We're 17-5, but we're on a 3-game skid. So we're headed to Baltimore, where Wrestling Rankin proudly presents the Baltimore Orioles. And hopefully, with Baltimore, we can turn things around and start getting on a winning way. All right, Cobb, you got tons of energy. Let's make it happen. All right, so I don't want to keep losing. Today's show is dedicated to Fred Yelly. He brought up the topic. It's a topic that I think everyone can agree with. I'm sure no one will be offended. I'm sure that everyone will go about their place. Nice field, Baltimore. I like Baltimore's field. All right, and just like that, we have a leadoff out. Just like our leadoff guy will always get out, this debate will be solved in 9 innings of RBI baseball. He's what my thoughts on religion. I just beg God, whoever your God is, that we turn this Rays season around and get a win here. All right, bam. Short answer, I'm an atheist. All right, next topic. Thank you, Fred. No, I'll talk about my religious journey and all that fun stuff. I grew up, I was passed around as a kid a lot, but I guess I would have been considered Methodist. That's a form of Christianity. That's what I was growing up on. The whole neighborhood where I grew up kind of was Methodist. So, yeah, I was Methodist. And when I was a little kid, I was really into religion. I liked the good parts of religion. You know, people ask me all the time, as an atheist, do I hate religious people? And I always say yes and no. It depends. Hey. All right, I got to stop with the God jokes. It's too early. It's the first inning. Oh man, people are gonna be angry. But yeah, yes and no. As far as being mad at religious people, I think there's a lot of good in religion. I see religion as an imaginary friend, and if your imaginary friend gets you through bad times, you know, maybe you were a whore, maybe you did drugs, maybe you did something horrible, maybe, you know, you went to prison, and you found God, or Jesus. Too early, Dave. Pump your brakes with the jokes. Then yeah, I find that to be good. You know, if you're an alcoholic and you sobered up because of a religion, or you stopped murdering people because of a religion, or you stopped sleeping around because of a religion, then yeah, no, religion's good. You know, it does help out a lot of people. Not as much as it claims to help out, but it does help out. You can't be blind. It does help out a lot of people. And, you know, I ran away from home a lot and had to eat, and religious people of all different faiths fed me. So I was always grateful for that. Now, I am not doing good, folks. All right, let me focus here. The harder the topic, the worse I play baseball. I'm just using that as an excuse. I am a horrible RBI baseball player. I might have to add another game to the repertoire, especially if I lose. I can't lose this game. I can't lose in Baltimore, man. Come on. And it's weird. I practice, because I haven't played in a while. I practice like a game or two, and I always win when it's not being recorded. I feel like the pressure is on. The YouTube eyes are on me. Don't look at me! Don't look at me! Still fighting a cold. So yeah, there's some really good things about religion. But there's also a lot of bad things. Like, if you are a religious person and it only affects you, then yeah, go, more power to you. But when you're like, well, my God thinks gay people shouldn't get married. Whoa, nice catch, Longo. Then I'm like, all right, no, I don't care about your invisible friend. If your invisible friend helps you, then hey, more power to you. If your invisible friend tells you to hurt and ruin people's lives, then no. F your invisible friend. So it really just depends. And, Christians now, even though they're still the majority, um, just always think they're under attack and like, oh, atheists complain. And I don't know. You guys don't think you've complained throughout history? I'm talking about the religious folks here. Obviously, all right, Jesus, you are made for this game and this topic. Hallelujah. Oh, he's gonna drop it. Oh, well, there you go. Jesus. I thought, religious topic. I thought, never mind. I'm going to hell. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, as a kid, I grew up Methodist. I really, really bought into it. I like the fact of helping people. I've always liked the fact of helping people. I still do to this day. I think that's the only thing that gives me hope in the human race is that there's people out there helping, religious or not religious. But I could have definitely become a real religious kid. But I remember we went to Vacation Bible School, and I was into it. I was into it big time. I was like, yeah, I'm going to become, I don't know, like the Methodist monk. None of that makes sense, but, I could have been a priest. I could have been all that. That's how into it I was. And there was this Vacation Bible School, and oh, God, was I into it. I was like, yeah, Vacation Bible School's the best. And I remember there's these two girls that helped out, and they were neighbors, and they ripped up their Vacation Bible School certificates. And I was angry at them. I don't even know why. I'm like, what the hell? All angry. And I brought them, I'm not very proud of this, but I forcefully brought these two girls. They were older than me, so I don't feel too bad. I still feel horrible. But I forcefully brought them to, I don't know, an adult, I guess, one of the teachers. And like, they ripped it up, they don't believe. And the girl goes, yeah, well, I don't believe in Noah's Ark. And I was like, yeah, no one believes in Noah's Ark. It's just a story. There's no way anyone believes in Noah's Ark. It's just a story for you to have faith. And this adult goes, no, we believe in Noah's Ark. That really happened. And I just remember, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, F you, Methodist. There's no way Noah's Ark really happened, all right? I'm only, I don't know, somewhere between 8 and 13, I don't know, around that range. And I'm like, no, I figured it out. There's no way Noah's Ark is real. And I just left. I was like, you know what? I'm becoming a Methodist terrorist over here, forcing girls to admit that they ripped their Vacation Bible Study awards for people that really believed Noah's Ark was real. So that was my first taste of atheism. So then I was like, all right, well, I'm not a Christian because I don't believe in Noah's Ark. That was like the final straw. It was like, you really believe Noah's Ark happened? I'm like, no. What? And so that was the final straw for my being Christian. But then I dated a Catholic girl because I thought Catholic and Christians were different. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. I noticed Catholics and Christians get along when it's about being evil and taking away people's shiznit. But in times of peace, they're like, no, we're totally different. But don't worry, if a gay couple's out there, then we'll fucking go after them. So yeah, I dated a Jewish girl and I dated a Catholic girl, for all the wrong reasons, I assure you. But to go to their church, so they thought I was a great kid. I wasn't a great kid. I was dating a daughter to get into a church because I wanted to see. I had a feeling that hey. Now, if all these people believe in religion, one of them has to be right. One of them has to be for me. So I went, and I was really confused. After being a Methodist, Methodists are kind of, I don't know, they're loosey-goosey with the rules. But I went to a really strict Catholic church, and then I went to a really strict Jewish church. As you can tell, nothing stuck, because I'm pretty sure none of that is the right terminology. And I was like, okay, well, that's obviously not for me. You guys are way too strict. So then I joined the Marine Corps, and one thing about the Marines that make me very angry, not even the Marines, but just Christians in general, they're always like, oh, well, there's not an atheist in the fighting hole. And I'm like, I was infantry. I was in a fighting hole, aka foxhole if you're in the Army. Um, yeah, I met more atheists in the Marine Corps than anywhere else in the world. Anywhere else in the world. Like, yeah, I remember too. There was like one or two Christians, and none of them went to mass. I went to all the masses. They had all the religions, so I was excited. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna find my religion! I can't wait!" I was like a free agent. I was like, "Whose God wants me the most?" Okay, it wasn't like that at all, I assure you. But I was like, "No, I gotta find the right religion," and I was the only one. I was, a born again atheist, and I was the only one going to these church sermons. So I was like, well, if you're a Christian, if you're a Catholic, if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, how come I'm the only asshole going to these things trying to find out what religion's for me? So there was a lot of atheism. Oh, come on. And that's one thing that makes me really mad. Oh, there's no atheist in a foxhole. No, there's a lot of atheists in foxholes. Matter of fact, on dog tags, you had to put your religion. And they were really strict. You couldn't say none. You couldn't say atheist. And they basically like forced you to pick Christian. So everyone was like, "Oh, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian." None of them believed in Jesus. None of them read the Bible. They were just like, "Oh, well, I'm American. I work for the government. Gotta be Christian." I'm like, I just literally saw you beat and rape people. No, you're not a Christian. All right, whatever. Jesus forgives me. Of course he does. But we couldn't put atheism and we couldn't put nothing. So we all decided, 2-6, to put Jedi Knight, Jedi Samurai, Sith. It was all Star Wars stuff, and it was great. But then we got in trouble with that. My one friend, I won't use his name, but I'll just call him Mario to protect the innocent. My one friend this was in the 90s. Email was a big deal in the 90s. If you had an email, it was like having the gold-plated iPhone. And for his religion, he put his email. And he was so happy. He thought he was so smart. And he's like, "Yeah, if they find me dead, they can email me." And I just looked at him like, "You didn't really..." Come on! Thank you, Jesus. Sorry, I'm dying here. But I was like, "You didn't really think this out." And he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, you put your email as your religion because you want, after you're dead, you want someone to email you. But you're dead. How are you going to get that email?" And he was so disappointed. He did not put one and one together. He was like, "Yeah, and I never gave anyone my password. Who's going to read that email?" And I was like, I just ruined it because he thought he had like the most cool original idea for his dog tags. And it was just the email. And another thing that religious people bother me with is, "Oh, on your deathbed." I've been on my deathbed at least 5 times. And never once did I say, "Oh, God, help me. Oh, Jesus, help me." The only time that that I'm somewhat religious is when I'm running late for work. I'm always like bartering with God. And I don't, when stuff is bad, I don't get religious. That's when I'm like the most anti-religious. I don't understand, like, "Oh, well, you're dying. Oh, your kid's sick. Oh, you're sick. Well, if you believe in God, he'll solve all the problems." I'm like, no, fuck your God. Why ain't he fucking helping now? But when stuff goes good, I'm more open to religion. I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm lucky. I shouldn't be this lucky. Maybe there is a guy looking out for me." But on my deathbed, yeah, I've been on deathbed multiple times. As my doctor says, Koco doesn't know how to die. Never. Never. Matter of fact, the closest thing that I've had to an out-of-body experience was a drugged-up dream. And if you go off the drugged-up dream, I might be a Scientologist. I never told anyone this story, but, no one watches these anyway. I was really sick, and I got drugged up, and I had a dream. And it's going to be embarrassing. Tom Cruise visited me in a dream. It was like a portal, like Ninja Turtles going to another dimension. There's a portal that took me to a pool hall where everything was brown. Brown leather, brown carpet, brown light. It was just brown. And, it was a really nice pool hall. And he goes, "Well, if you come with me, you could make whatever you want." And I remember going to Tom Cruise in this crazy drugged up dream going, "Well, I can make whatever I want down there." And he goes, "Well, why ain't you?" And then I was like, you know, son of a bitch, I gave up a run. Where were you on that one, Tom Cruise? But that's when I got off my deathbed. For now, I'll be back, I assure you. I return often. I woke up going, you know what? I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. RBI baseball channels, writing. Who cares if I failed? I was lucky before this. So, yeah, that's the closest. So, I mean, if you want on your deathbed religious, then maybe I'm a Scientologist. I don't know. Or I was hopped up on drugs and Tom Cruise gave me an option to create whatever I want in a brown pool hall. Well, one of your choices. But yeah, I never. Not only that, but let's say you do become religious because of a bad thing. Well, doesn't that make God a mugger? Doesn't that make God a bad person? Hear me out. When I have a gun to my face, I will do what you tell me to. It's just human nature. I don't want to die. I have a fear. So I'm like, yes, here's my wallet. Here's this. So if you become, oh, no one's an atheist on their deathbed, well, doesn't that mean your God is a mugger? Oh, well, I'm fucking screwed. I might as well believe in God now. I don't know. I mean, if something good happens and you believe in God, then I'm like, oh, well, there's a benefit to it. But you're like, oh, well, you didn't believe in God your whole life, but on your deathbed, you were begging for God. I don't see that as a good thing. Oh, okay, so I'm on my deathbed begging for God. I'm sure if you broke into my house right now and said, duh, and you said center fielder's going to make an error, and if he doesn't make an error, I'm going to shoot you, I'd be like, all right, here's an error. I'm throwing the game. You know what I mean? So I don't grasp that part of religion. So there you go. Plus, I work a lot of charities, and when you decide that it's more important that they find your faith and their books more than feeding them, more than solving their problems, I have a problem with that. I also have a problem with, Christians and, I don't want to pick on Christians. Religious people, if they find out you're an atheist, they try to get you fired from charity. Why? Why? Do you have to have a monopoly on charity? Oh my goodness, I might lose again, folks. Sosa Jr. Man. Alright, right field. Oh, Geyer sucks. Sosa Jr. or Geyer? I'm gonna go with Sosa Jr. Alright, come on, Sosa Jr. Prove me right. Prove me I'm not a fool. Oh, baby, home run, home run. Sosa Jr. Nice try, though. You know what? Okay. Longo, I need you now more than ever. Come on, baby. Alright. But yeah, the only time that I'm somewhat religious is either when something really good happens, like Longo hitting a home run, or I'm late for work. Deathbed, fighting holes, never. Never in a million years. And if I ever dove off a cliff, I mean, or like the religious cliff, and I had to choose a religion, I'd probably choose Buddhism because they're like, if we're wrong, we're wrong. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that. I did study Bushido for a long time, but I don't think that's a religion. And I did make a deal, though. I am willing to barter. I am very superstitious. I go to a river in Japan. I also, do a lot of Japanese religious traditions. And I lost again, folks. I blame this on you, friend Yelly. I blame this. We're on a 4-game losing streak, folks. And it's not like we're getting killed. It's always a run here, a run there. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. Yeah, so... Yeah, I did make a deal with the river. That if I do become a best-selling author, I would not say I was an atheist. I'd be like, oh no, there's a reason. There's a reason for this season. Plus, a lot of times people think I'm religious because I will stand up for people being bullied in their rights. Like in college, there was this old lady and everyone just picked on her. And I was like, let her be! How do you know there's no Jesus? And they're like, wow, Dave must be religious. I'm like, no, I just stand up for people getting picked on. So, I don't want to bully you because of your religion, but I also won't stand by if you bully other people. So, please, like, comment, subscribe, and we lost 4 in a row, folks. We lost 4 in a row to Wrestling Rampant proudly presents the Orioles. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you are religious, may your religious bring you happiness without harming others. With that, I am over. Let's look at the stats real quick. Maybe not. I am over.